and welcome. This is Rose, and you have found Untwist Your Stitches, a Flosstube channel about my cross-stitching and other crafting adventures. Today there will be cross-stitch finishes, there will be whips, there are some new plans, well, not new plans, but there are plans. There's some crocheting and there's some sewing. So we've got a full video of different items. Also, I'm going to be picking the winners from my 1-year Flossaversary. So this time there's going to be a lot of editing because I am new to the whole random picker thing, and I'm going to have to learn that. I may have to video that tomorrow because it's getting kind of late in the day, and I've got some things I need to do. So I may have to figure out how to do the random picker and add that in at the end after I've done this one. So let's start out with, if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe and hit the like button and make any comments you'd like to make. Ask me questions, comment on my work, give me suggestions for things you think could be done differently, whatever you would like, just so we can interact and get to know each other. Even if you don't want to make any comments, if you could hit the like button, because that makes me more accessible to more people. YouTube's algorithms go off how many likes you get. So if the more likes you get, the more accessible you are on search engines. To go tell my puppy dog to go lay down. He came walking in jingling his collar, and I don't like that kind of stuff in the background, so I made him go lay down, and I'm back. The last time I asked a question was, I believe, 3 videos ago, and it was about who your favorite designers were. And there were as many favorite designers as there were comments. So everybody has their own style. Everybody has their own favorites. And that just seems like the reason why this is such a great hobby, because there are so many designers, there are so many styles, and everybody out there can find something that they like. New, old, retro, antique, whatever it is you're looking for, you can find it somewhere. There's somebody out there that has made a pattern for you. So it's quite easy to pick up a needle and thread and start cross-stitching and join in with our community. I'm not going to ask you a question this time. I'm going to tell you I have come up with a new acronym. I am calling it STAFF, and what that stands for in my world is start and fully finish, or start and finish. I put the second F on when I fully finish, but if I've started something and I've finished it before I've shown it to you on my videos, I call it a staff. I have 3 of those to show you, and we'll get started with them. The first one is, this is a pattern by Stitching with the Housewives called Family. I did it for my son and his wife. It's going to be a Christmas present for them. There's one more thing I have to add to it, but that is very easy to do. But this is my version of it. There were a few color changes within it. So I'll start out by telling you that it is stitched on 32 count lichen that I purchased from 123 Stitch. And it is a Picture This Plus fabric. The family was supposed to be done with, what was it supposed to be done with? Let's see. Black coffee, but, oh, excuse me, I am so sorry. I didn't want it that dark, so I chose to use Gunmetal by Weeks Dye Works. And the purple in the heart is Ultraviolet, also by Weeks Dye Works. The blue hearts is Blue Beatrice by Classic Color Works, and the green is Field of Greens, also by Classic Color Works. And let's see, what is the other? Oh, and then it's hard to see. I'm not sure if you can tell, but on the front side of each of the letters, to kind of give it a little bit of definition, that is 3768 by DMC. And then I finished it like this. This is part of my stash that you see behind me, my fabrics. I use it to finish some of my pieces in this way. I will be getting a large picture frame holder, and then this whole thing will go in as a gift to them for Christmas this year. And the only thing I have left to do is I have a blue and a purple heart. It's not with me just yet. It's coming. My husband is sending up the rest of my crafting supplies, but it is coming up here, and I will add them here in the center with the two hearts, and then that will be completed for their Christmas present this year. This was a really fun pattern to do. It took me just a week, and it's stitched up really quick. It can be, I did the established in 2021 because that's when they had their daughter. So that's when they became a real family, not just a couple, but a family. And I just think that they should really enjoy this. So that is my first staff, start and fully finish. So then the next start and fully finish, the next staff, is this pattern, That Mom by Dirty Annie's. And I have done this for myself. This is a piece that I did to display in my kitchen. I don't know why all of a sudden I've decided that I want my kitchen decor to be chickens. I just think they're super cute. And this is going to be one. I've had these little easels in my finishing stash for several years. And it just turned out that for this piece, I thought it would be perfect because I'm going to have this sitting in the window above the sink in my kitchen. It is stitched on 16 count Serene by Picture This Plus. Again, it was purchased from 123 Stitch, as was the pattern. The green, the dark green here is Weeks Dye Works Envy. Oh, I didn't use grits. That's right, I did not. When I started to stitch the mama chicken, she was supposed to be done in grits, and she was not showing up at all. She was too, the white on this Serene fabric, this, in real life, you can see it better, but it's kind of a very soft green. And the white just was not showing up. So I had to change that out. And what did I change it to? I believe it was another Weeks Dye Works. I'll put it in the comment section what it was, because it was not grits. It might have been the gunmetal. I might have used the gunmetal for this. I'll have to check my notes and I'll put it all in the comment section. The red is Weeks Dye Works Louisiana Hot Sauce, and the lighter green, the O and that, to kind of emphasize those words, is Chartreuse by Weeks Dye Works. The yellow is Sunflower by Gentle Arts, and the orange in his wing and their legs and beaks, that is a Silks for You from September 2021. It was a club silk. So I'm not sure if it's available, but that's where that came from. And then I just finished it off with some twine and a little bit of lace, and this will now sit in the window in my kitchen. So number 2, staff. Number 3 is, I know a lot of the Flosstubers are doing this one. I don't know if there was a hashtag for it. I didn't check because this just stitched up so quickly. It is called Maker by Heart in Hand. And I have finished it. Excuse me, sorry. I have finished it in this little frame that I got as a packet of 9 on Amazon. And it looks, it's very easy to use. This outside rim here pops out. It's rubber, a hard rubber, but there's a groove in the frame piece, and then you just pop this and make it fit in the groove to hold your piece. I used, let me see, let me check my notes real quick. I used the DMC suggested alternative for everything except for the tomato pincushion is done in Weeks Dye Works Ladybug. And the way that I get my variegation on that is I don't go back and forth. I go in circles. So I start on by framing the outside of it all the way around the leaves and everything, and I work in as much of a circle as I can make it so that it doesn't have that back and forth diagonal looking design to it, unless that's what I want. In another one of my whips, I'll show you the difference that it makes when you go back and forth, when you go up and down, when you go in circles. It does make a big difference. So this one, I went and did it in circles, and this is just how the variegation came out on it. And then the green, the dark green I've used is $6.99 DMC, and the reason I use that is my favorite DMC color. So, oh, and I changed the color of Maker. I used the same yellow, the sunflower yellow from Gentle Arts that was on the other design. But I just brightened it up a little bit. And then my scissors here in the pattern, you will notice, it's in black. Well, I wanted my scissors to be silver, and I wanted them to have a little bit of a design, so I put a little bit of a design on it. And then this little charm was something that I had found at Joann's the last time I went up there. There was a set of, I believe there were 4 scissors on it, and this one just kind of was very similar to how I had done the scissors when I was stitching it. So I just added that. And then when the rest of my stuff comes, I know I have a thimble charm that I will add right here. And this will hang up here in my crafting room. So that is number 3 staff. And my final FFO, which FFO is fully finished object. And this was one that I showed you when I first finished it, when I FO'd it, when I finally finished all of the cross stitching. I had showed you this. It is a pattern that I found when I was with my daughter in Virginia, and she really liked it. So I stitched this up for her, and it was supposed to go to her for her birthday on the 3rd of October, but it didn't quite get to her. So you've seen it finished, but now you will see it fully finished. And this is my fully finish. And I did it similar to how I did my son's. Again, I will get a standing picture, a standing frame holder, and put it all together and then send it to her. And once again, this is fabric that I have in my stash and some of the different items that I have for finishing up objects. She loves sunflowers, so I wanted to add those. And because it's October and, because it's autumn, I added the white pumpkins in. This was stitched on 32 count gingerbread Lugana. I'm pretty sure I ordered it from 123 Stitch, but this is, no, that is not true. I got this fabric at the same time that I got the pattern when I was in Virginia with my daughter, because I had her pick out the color that she thought she would like it stitched on. So I'm not sure what shop I bought it from, but it was one in Virginia. I used the suggested DMC colors, everything except for the end, because when I started stitching the end, it was just so drab. I didn't like the way that it looked. So I took here in the water, there is a lighter color blue. I took that lighter color blue and put it in the end and stitched it up like that to kind of give it a little bit more color. And I just think it looks better. But everything else is stitched in the suggested DMC version. Okay, so those are all of my fully finished patterns. And I'm going to give it a pause here and get my whips and a few other things closer so I don't have to be reaching out of frame. And I will be right back. Alrighty, and we are back. Now, my next section is about whips. The whip I'm going to show you, it's something that you've seen in the past. I thought I would be a little bit farther along than I am, but unfortunately, there is a lot more stitching in this than you would think. So, it is Raven Queen by Nora Corbett. And I have made color changes to her. I will tell you about that when I show you the piece. And along with her in the background, I am also adding, it's called The Mourning Tree by and it's a pattern from Whispered by the Wind. And let me show you that this is how far I have gotten with her. I will pop in a picture of what it looked like before this most recent stitching session. But I do know that one of the things that I did this time was this background over here, and it's not showing up, but that black raven is stitched with silk lame, and it sparkles, but you can't really see it. I don't think it's going to show up the sparkle that is in his wings. And the other thing that I stitched is more of the parapet that's going across here, that's behind her. It'll go all the way across to the end here, and then it'll show a little bit on this other side as well. And what I was talking about with the way that you stitch with variegated thread, on this one, I went up and down. On this one here, I obviously went diagonally. This one, I went in a circle. And these ones, I went just back and forth. And you can see how it changes the way that the stitching looks when you've done it in these different directions. So, the color changes that I have made. She's more, if you notice on the pattern here, she's more of a teal color on here. I wanted her more green. Green is my favorite color, and I wanted her to be more of a seafoamy green. So this colors here in her dress, which is a variegated, and it is Weeks Dye Works Caribbean. The darker color is DMC 3812 and DMC, okay, down here in her ruffle, 3812, 3850, and the very light is 563. And you'll notice there are some open spaces there, and that is where the beads will go in. Nora loves her beads. And this lady is no joke when it comes to beads and Kronic metallic, which I don't mind working with at all. The parapet here, the lighter color is called Gentle Arts Ohio Sky. And then the darker colors are the DMC suggested in the pattern. But that is where she's at. And she's really coming along well. I do still have quite a bit to go. I would say, if all things go well, I may have her done by the end of the year, but I'm not guaranteeing that. And she lives in this bag that I made for myself, my project bag. And this is, if you watched my video about how I track things, this is the tag that tells me what is in each one of my bags. I got these off Amazon, and they're really wonderful to write what is in there, and if you have other information that you want to add to it, it's all right there. Now, because I had so many staff projects, I don't have a whole lot of whips, but I do have my SAL, which is SAL 60 is just a number. and it's all patriotic pieces. This was not the patriotic piece that I intended to start after I finished my E Pluribus Unum flag. However, my husband hadn't sent up my other projects yet, so I had to start something patriotic, and this was one that I fell in love with as soon as I saw it. And it is American Flag by Erin Elizabeth. You probably saw a lot of people stitching it this summer. It was very popular. And it is on my Q-snap in my lap frame because I am working on it. Every 7th through the 10th of every month, I pull out my patriotic piece and stitch on it. The colors that I am using are Gentle Arts Schoolhouse Red, and the blue star section, the square with the stars, I'm going to be using Classic Colorworks Wavy Navy. And it's a really quick pattern. It's very easy to work because it's just the two colors. The white is just left. That's why I'm stitching it on 16 count white Aida, is you just leave the white as negative space, and you've got what you need. So this is the one I'm working on now until the 10th, and then I will pick up one of my other patterns. So those are my whips. I did have another start because the week that I was working on That Mom and the Maker, I also had a few days left because I rotate my projects once a week. I work on them from Sunday to Saturday. So the next one that I picked up was a new pattern that I had found when I was looking for something else. It is called Spooky Pumpkin, and it's by Cute Embroidery by Kate. This was a pattern I found on 123 Stitch. Now, I've made a lot of changes to this one. I did not like him being so dark. I wanted it to be more of a Halloween orange pumpkin. So I have brightened this one up a lot. The fabric is it a 14 count or is it a, yes. This is a 14 count fabric that I had dyed years ago, and I had just sitting in my stash, and I thought for this particular project it would be wonderful. But as you can see, I have brightened Mr. Spooky Pumpkin up quite a lot. I am using, oops, come on, open up. For the dark outline and for his eyes, I'm going to be using Weeks Coal. I do have more. It's just, that's the end of this particular one. For the dark orange, I am using Classic Colorworks Ember. For the lighter colored orange, I am using what is it? Oh, Silks for You. It was another one of the September 2021 silk. I used it again. It's the same silk that I used on the nose and or on the beaks and the legs of the chickens. The green vines and grass are Classic Colorworks Grasshopper. The stems are going to be Classic Colorworks Chocolate Mousse. And for the leaves and the flowers, now I'm getting a little crazy. I have had this floss for quite a few years, and I've always wanted to use it on something, and I think it will work. I'm hoping. I hope it will work with what I want to do for the flowers on this. It's from Australia. It's called, the dyer is called Jay's X Stitch, and this is just he doesn't have names for them. He just calls them by different colors, and this was an orange color that I just thought was really fun and would make up something that would be fun. So that's what I'm going to do with the flowers, and I hope it works the way I'm envisioning it. But those are the only colors for that particular project. It's I only worked on this for a day and a half, and I got that much done, so it works up really, really quick. And you can see the darker orange and the lighter orange, and then, like I said, all of this in here is going to be stitched in kohl by Weeks Dye Works. And that one is living in my Remember Me project bag that I just finished not too long ago. And I didn't put, because these have been such quick projects, I didn't put a tag in here because I know that they're not going to be living in there for very long. So there's really no point in writing all the information on there, because they don't stay in the bag for very long, because they work up so quickly. And okay, that's all my whips and my starts and my finishes. So let's go to plans. Laura by Stitching by the Shore has a SAL in October for her birthday. She's a October girl, and she has a pumpkin. I believe it's just, I think it's October Pumpkin SAL. I'll make sure of that and be sure to add it to the comments. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to pull out Zuka, my big Alessandra Adelaide pumpkin, and work on that for October as part of her SAL. I'm very close to finishing my March snowman head, so I'm going to pull him out for a week and see if I can get him done. And the last thing is the wolves that I am doing for my husband. I would like to finish up the wolf portion of that pattern so that I can see how much room I have left to do the quote for him. So those are the things that I plan on doing in October, and hopefully it all works out. Dogs were barking again, so had to go see what was going on. Okay, so purchases. Postal prizes is what I call these. I ordered some fabric because I want to kit up some of my patterns that I have recently bought. And I noticed that on a couple of them, well, actually just one, on one of them, I didn't have a fabric that was going to work with it at all. So I went on Etsy and was looking around, and I found some fabric. The shop that I bought it from is Those Missing Stitches. And I will add her information into the comment section. But this one is an orange. It is not showing up as dark as it is. The color is really brightening this up. It is not this bright. It is much darker than that. So obviously my the light today is not working. I can't. No, that's not. No, it's just not going to show up. But it's a orange. And then this one is called Darling David. And it is a neutral. This was a 16 count Ada. This is a 32 count. Now that's showing up pretty good as to what the color is. This is a 32 count linen. And then this is the one that I was looking for to kit up a project with, and it is called Epically Evil Fairy Godmother. And now the color is not showing. But this is one of the colors that this is the color I was looking for when I went trolling. But when she sent that, she sent a little gift to go along with it, and it's this floss card. And on the back, you can put the brand and the color name or number or whatever. And then there's this little bag tag that came with it. So that was very nice of her. But yes, those missing stitches on Etsy. I also, I have an idea that I want to try to put together of all of the different states that I've lived in. And I found these they're just very small projects. And I think they would work really good to put on a piece of fabric and just hang it in my craft room or in my bedroom or something, just to commemorate all the different states that I've lived in. Now, this one is not a state. This is just strictly, it says patriotic postage stamps. This is another one by Cute Embroidery by Kate. So I was born and raised in Montana, and she has she has a Montana stamp. Then we moved to Wyoming for a while, and this is the Wyoming stamp. Then we moved to New Jersey. I have not found a New Jersey flag from her yet, and I'm wondering if it's because New Jersey state flags are kind of intricate and she just hasn't had the opportunity to put it together. Then from New Jersey, we moved to Oregon. Again, there was no Oregon stamp. I've tried to get in contact with the designer and see if she plans on doing those states. I hope she does. But right now, they're not available anywhere that I was looking. They're not available on Etsy or on 123 Stitch, which I got all of these from 123 Stitch. So I'm still waiting to see what happens with that. And then we moved to Texas. And then we moved to California. And now we are in Idaho. So Idaho does not have a stamp yet. So hopefully by the time I get to that project, I will have an answer from her, from, getting in contact with her in some way. And I'll find out if she's going to do those other stamps and what kind of time frame we're working for. It's for myself. It's not for anything that needs to be done right away. So I'm not really in a hurry, and they could be done whenever. And the last thing I got was this Mill Hill kit. I took it out of the kit so that you could see this, but I just thought that was so beautiful with the autumn foliage. And this one was not on 1, 2, 3 stitch. I don't know if it's out of print or what, but the only place I could find it at was on Amazon. So I got that. So that is all of my purchases that are here. I ordered a whole bunch of black DMC because the Halloween Quaker calls for a lot. There's another, it's called Spooky Boo or something like that. It's almost all done in DMC black. And there's a couple other projects, obviously, you know, with fall and everything, Halloween and all that. I'm going through a lot of black. So I ordered 20 skeins of black. And then when I was ordering them, I noticed that I believe it's Classic Color Works has a floss that they're calling Cauldron. And it's a mottled gray that's really pretty. So I wanted to get that and maybe use that on my Halloween Quaker in place of some of the other colors that I'm going to take out. So I ordered some of that. And I think that's it. So nothing really exciting that I would need to show you next time. So I can just put that right into my stash when it comes. Alrighty. I did tell you that I have some other projects that I've been working on. I showed this to you a little while ago. I haven't worked on it a whole lot. Unfortunately, I have developed some sort of rash and it's not going away. And it is aggravated by heat, even just body heat. I'm having a hard time. I've been to the doctor twice. Both of the times that they've given me different medications for it, it has not helped. The itching has just been terrible. So I haven't gone stitching with my my friends lately, so I haven't had a lot of time on this, but I did make a little bit of progress. And the next color that will be added in is green. So when I'm done with this row of the purple, then I will be adding the green in to it and moving on. So there's green and blue. Yeah, those are the only two other colors, and then it'll be finished. So maybe by next month, I will have this finished. We'll see. It's a real easy pattern. It works up quite quickly. So I have no problem just finishing that off. And like I say, it should be done by the next time I do a video. Hopefully, if all things go well. And if we can figure out what this rash is. Because my doctor said, you are not presenting as normal. Which is not a surprise to anybody that knows me. I don't usually present as normal. But with this particular thing, it's making it harder and harder to figure out what's going on, because it's been almost a full month that I've been fighting this. It started out around my mouth and my eye, and my face swelled up. That has finally gone away, but I've got it on my arm, I've got it on my side, on both my legs. It's popping up, and then it'll go away on my hands. and we just can't figure out what's causing it. Everything that we've tried, there's nothing new in my house to have caused it, but it is being a problem. So there's that. All right, and we're back. So some of the things that I do is I make these little binders covers with fabric. This one happens to be a bee. On the inside, it is a 3-ring binder. You could use it as an organizer. There's pockets that are inside here. There's these divider pages with a few things. You could use it. There are, I believe Avery has the right size of calendar pages that fit in here. I'm pretty sure it's Avery that has this size. And it's just a little 3 by 3.5 by, no, not 3.5, 5 by 7, 5 by 7 3-ring binder. And, you know, the little pin goes in the pocket there. This one I made with just scraps. And it just came out so nice. So that's a bee one. This one is birds. This one is, oh, let me show you the pockets that I did with that one. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Show the whole thing. These have, and the lining is the same color as the pocket. I've got ladybugs. And I've got a pumpkin one. Now this one has all sorts of different oranges in it. I've got the checkered orange. I've got this nice bright orange. And then the checkered is on the lining as well. Because the way that this was just a scrap piece of fabric that I had. And I didn't have enough to make the pockets with it. So I had to come up with a different plan for that. And the orange worked for that. So this is another one that I used a lot of scraps to put together. And it's a good way if you're a sewer and you've got some scraps. This kind of stuff works really well with putting it together. So the other thing I do is I make they're called catch-all bags. And they're this. When they're not in use, you zip them up, and they've got a little handle for carrying them around. When they're open, you can set them next to your sewing, and you fold the edges down, and you've got all these little pockets. Now what I put in mine is I put a seam ripper, I put a small emery board, I put a pencil, there is a box of pins, and there is a small, where is it? Where's my tweezers? My tweezers have fallen out of this. Let me get one from the other bags. Sorry about that. I didn't realize that one was missing its tweezers, but I put a small pair of tweezers in each bag. Now, to go with the bag, I also make, oh, that's where it's at. Well, I found it. It's right here. And the reason that it did that is in the center of this is a magnet, because you can use this to hold your pins. It's a collapsible tray, and in the center there is a magnet. So as I have found out, you know, it's a nice big magnet, and it will hold your pins, or this can be used as an ork tray or a candy tray or whatever you would like it to be used for. It then comes apart. This one I put a little heart on. It comes apart like this. You roll it up. You set it in here in your bag and you zip it up. And it all stays contained in this little, what is called a catch-all bag. So these are also on my Etsy shop for sale. This one is, I love these colors. They're just beautiful. I did one that is the same outer fabric as this. And the inner fabric is a kind of polka dot orange. I've done one in the shamrocks with violets. And the interior is this green floral. And these ones, I hope to keep them in my Etsy shop, but one of them was a specialty order. It is a Hogwarts theme bag. And the inside of this one has owls. And I wasn't sure which style she was going to want, so I made two. So there's another Hogwarts theme with the books, and the inside of this one is a potions fabric. So I'm going to let her pick which one. She may take both. I'm not sure. Hopefully not. And I'll be able to put these in my Etsy shop. One of these in my Etsy shop, and then when I get a little bit more time for sewing, I'm going to make a few more. Right now my Etsy shop is empty. I am trying to get these pictures taken so that I can upload the new products onto my shop and have it that way. So that's what I've been doing sewing-wise, crocheting-wise, and cross-stitching-wise. The next thing I have to tell you is the name-dropping section. And these are all brand new stitchers to me. I found them within the last month, and some of them are just amazing. So the first one I'm going to suggest for you is called Snitch Stitcher. I believe she has 5 videos out. She's really funny. She's from Texas, and her name is Kim. Home on the Ridge. I know a lot of people are suggesting Home on the Ridge. Her name is Maggie, but you've got to go and watch her videos. The first one, the way she finished off some of her cross-stitching is just fantastic. You will be impressed, I am sure. So go give her a look. There's another one new to me. Again, Maggie, She may have 7 videos out right now. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look, but go find her. She's wonderful. Renewing Stitches. Now, she's been around for a while, but I just personally found her recently. Her name is Amy. A Dutch stitcher, and I hope I'm pronouncing her name correctly. Hanneke. I just found her last night, and she has some very different patterns, things I haven't seen. I don't know. It sounds like a lot of them are coming from the States, but she also had one from Germany, and it was beautiful. She's got a stag that she's stitching on, and oh, the colors in that are awesome. Go and give her a look. It's called A Dutch Stitcher, and her name is Hanneke. I hope to God I'm pronouncing her name right. Then there's Flossabilities, and I found them because they're designers. Her name is Lauren, and his name is Sam. They have a Halloween street, Halloween town. I think it's Halloween Street. I've seen it on several Instagram posts, and I've seen it in a few mentions on other Flosstubes, and it is so cool. It's like, it's 3 houses, and then they've got these little trick-or-treaters going to the different houses, but it is, I want to get it. I'm not going to get it right now because I've spent so much money on patterns and fabric lately. I just can't justify it, but it's really cool, and they've got a couple of other patterns out, but give them a look. Flossabilities is the name of the Flosstube. And then there's a lady in Canada. Her name is Anne, and her channel is called Toby Knits. And it's really cute because Toby is her little dog. And she introduces him at the beginning of each of her videos. Now, she has videos, I believe, once a week. On Monday, she does a knitting video. On Wednesday, she does a cross-stitching video. And then I'm not sure what her schedule is for her quilting, if it's just random or if she does it on an actual schedule. But she does all 3 of these, and she's got some really cool stitching that she's done. And you could just watch the Flosstube if that's all you're interested in, but she also has the knitting and the quilting options if you're interested in those too. And she is going to be doing a stitch along Monday the 14th. It's for the Historical Society's Christmas SAL. Christmas Mystery SAL. Again, I will find the exact wording and put it in the comment section. But she's going to do a live stitch along on Monday because I believe that's when the pattern first will come out. You could buy it as a kit. You could buy it as pattern only, which is PDF. It does come from England, so it might take a little bit. If you're interested in it, go over and watch Anne's Flosstube, and all of the information will be there. But I also will find the information and put it in my comment section. So if you're interested in that, you can find it. And then, as I said, I am not prepared right now for picking the winners. I'm going to go and figure out how to do the random wheel or whatever it is, the random picker on YouTube, and put all the information in and pick them. And then I'll do another section of this and edit it in at the end. But for now, I would like to thank you so very much for joining me today and seeing what I've been stitching, seeing what I've been sewing, and all the things. I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope your stitches stay untwisted. And we will see you in a month. And before I go, I want to say, for all of those people that are affected by these storms in the United States, my heart goes out to you. If I lived closer, I would be there helping as much as I could. Of course, living in Idaho, that makes it very difficult to do. But my prayers are with you. I'm hoping that this second storm has not hit you. I hope you can get some relief. And my prayers and thoughts are with you. So stay strong out there. Know that we're all trying to do the best that we can in helping and sending aid and money and all of the things that you need. And we just are, we feel very, very touched that, you know, you're going through so much, but you're staying strong and you're back. I finally figured out how to do this random comment or random word picker. It's late in the day, so the lighting right now is not the greatest. However, I wanted to get this finished so I could start editing and get it all uploaded. So we're going to go, the first giveaway I have is the American Sampler by J Design. And the winner is I will add your name to the comment section to tag you so that you know that you are the winner. I also will have my email in the comments, so just send me an email with your address. Be sure you're over 18, and what's the other thing? I would appreciate it if you were a subscriber, but I'm not gonna make that an absolute. So the next one is the Jan Hicks E Pluribus Unum flag. And the winner for that one is and again, I will tag you in the comment section, and then you will know that you are the winner, and send me an email, and I'll get these off to you as quickly as possible. The next one is Strawberry Fair. This is such a nice one to do. It's just so bright and beautiful. It can be a spring or a fall stitch. And the winner of that one is send me a email with your name and address, and I will get that out to you. And the last one is Remember Me. Again, a really, really easy, nice pattern to do. Doesn't take long at all. Can be done in many different color ways to make it bright or make it traditional, whatever you would like. And the winner of that one is Karen, the Stitching Owl. So everybody give me a message, and I will get those out to you just as quickly as I get your address.